So, dimensions are just different states of being, different states that things exist in. The first dimension is just a dot and a line. The second dimension adds to that. It's a dot, a line, and a plane. So if you remember like high school, I think geometry class, it talks about planes, sine, cosine, tangent, I don't know, all that stuff. I don't remember. But yes, second dimension, it becomes a plane. There's length and width. The third dimension adds on to that. There's length, width, and height. So it's more like a cube. Let's just call it a house. It's the 3D. This dimension is where objects appear. There's form, there's mass. This is the world we live in. You can physically feel objects like this marker. You have a physical body. You can sit on a physical chair and not fall through. When we say we want to manifest something, it really just means that we want to see, feel, touch it in the 3D reality. In the 3D, we also experience linear time, which brings us to the fourth dimension. So the fourth dimension is time. Time doesn't really exist as we know it. In the 4D, everything exists at once. The past, present, and future exist all at the same time. However, because we are in a lower, denser dimension, we experience the time one at a time. I feel like time is more circular. So instead of this, right? Let's say you're 1 year old, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is linear time in the 3D. You have to be 1 before you're 2, and then you have to be 2 before you're 3. But in the fourth dimension, let's say you can be 1 year old here, you can be 2 here, you can be 3, you can be 100, you can be 200, you can be 9.5 years old, and you don't have to experience things one at a time. You just literally focus. This is getting a little bit more into the 5D, but you can literally focus on what you want to experience, what you want to see or feel, and that is kind of what you're able to see or visualize. Let's just go to the 5D, and I think you'll understand it a little bit more. This is one of my favorite dimensions. This is where I like to play because this is the start of higher consciousness. It's intangible, but in this dimension, you're able to observe all of the lower dimensions at once. So let me, I'm sorry, goodbye to the house. So 5D, I don't even know how to draw this. Let's do like a flower, a quantum flower. So in the fifth dimension, you're able to observe the fourth, third, second, and first dimension all at once because you have higher consciousness. You can be physically in the 3D, but also aware of the times in the 4D. You can see the past, present, and future simultaneously. You can see different timelines, infinite timelines. This is like the quantum field. Once you are aware of this and all of this, you're able to choose what you want to experience. You're able to choose the timeline that you want to experience in the 3D reality, pretty much based on just the observation of it. If you intentionally choose to experience something, let's say you want to look at yourself when you're 3 years old, that selection of the experience comes into form. So manifestation happens in the 5D, and then it kind of like you focus on it, let's say, and then it gets dragged down into the lower dimensions for it to come into form, for the intangible to be tangible. And I can tell you all this with so much certainty because I have seen my quantum field. So let me just share my story really quickly and draw it for you so you can understand a little bit. One day in the morning, I woke up and then I just saw what I realized or recognized as my quantum field. I was like, oh, this must be what a quantum field looks like. If you listen to Abraham Hicks, this is what he or she talks about as a vortex of all the possibilities. It's just something that I saw in my mind's eye. It was all just energetic. So I saw this kind of like squiggles, like energy, but I knew that this is me. Like this is just my energy, my soul. And then all around it was just black, like empty black space but I knew intuitively that all the like space around it was just infinite. Like there's so much. Even though it was all black, it's full of so much potential, so many timelines, so many things that I could choose from to experience, even different lifetimes if I wanted to focus on that. But the way I kind of saw it is my little energy here. If I chose to focus on something, let's say I want to win the lottery, and if I choose to believe and identify as, oh, I am a lottery winner, I won the lottery, there's kind of like a light, like a star. It was like a yellow star, yellow orb light type thing that would light up in this black field and then come towards me. And what causes this to come towards me is matching the frequency, pretty much. This is what everyone talks about. Match the energetic frequency of what you want to attract. You are what you attract. But pretty much there's my frequency, my identity. And then I just knew intuitively, instinctively, that when I hold this specific frequency, this specific identity of the person that experiences this thing, it will come to me. But when you have the mastery of these mechanisms, you are able to consciously and unconsciously choose. Master your energy, your frequency, your identity to consciously, intentionally get what you want, manifest into the 3D, bring the intangible into the tangible. And there's actually even higher dimensions than 5D. I've actually experienced the 20th dimension in a hypnosis session. That's a story for another day, another video.